I don't approve of your flu shot. Now you have pharmacists giving it. You bribe us with cards at Target and you tell us this is free and it's everywhere and get it. They're scare tactics and you should be ashamed. And then I will end because I do want my colleagues, the other moms that know what the CDC doesn't do for us. I'm looking around. Some of you are my age. And if I'm mistaken, I apologize. But I'm in a generation where I got 7 shots. 26 years later, my daughter got 10. Her son got probably 60. My new grandson's expected to get 72, and I just watched you add more. I'm appalled. Robert Kennedy Jr., you know what he says? His family started Special Olympics. There were no autistic kids. He says that where the 40-year-olds wearing diapers with helmets on at the mall, if you misdiagnose them, if you miss them, because you say they're not vaccines, that they miss them. Where were the special ed classes when people with my generation, there weren't any, because they didn't exist. I have a 10-year-old grandson, and I don't care what you say, that the autism and vaccines don't exist. It does. Because I watched a perfectly healthy, beautiful 2-year-old get those shots and become a severe autistic child. And guess what? He will be 40, walking in the mall with a diaper on and a helmet. Thank you for the studies that you don't do.
There's a thought process in this country that parents aren't smart enough to know the science. And in my 20 years of doing this, I have found that parents know more of the science than most doctors do, because they've been learning it and studying it. It's not difficult to read, and they do ask questions. There's a system in our country that says you must vaccinate, and those parents who speak up about their concerns about vaccines are usually parents whose children have already suffered. They're the ones who have said, I listened to you, and my child got hurt.
My name is Matt. I'm blessed with 2 fully unvaccinated children. I am blessed they're healthy. I strongly oppose.
Thank you, sir.
Word all you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lindsay McBratney from Tustin, California. I'm an attorney, a mother of 3 kids, and doctors and parents know best. I oppose.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Heidi Hook. And for my children, for my patients, and for my Hippocratic Oath, I strongly oppose.
Thank you.
My name's Laura Menard. I'm a registered nurse and a holistic nurse coach. And my 2 children are vaccine injured. One of them would not qualify under your bill, and they deserve to go to school.
Thank you.
Strongly oppose.
Thank you.
My name is Trina Perkins from Irvine, California, mother of 2, grandmother of 4. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Jacqueline DiMajan from Dana Point, educated grandma of 7. I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
Mir Yevseev, father of 4 kids, healthy, not vaccinated. I'm strongly opposed.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Natalia Felinsky, and I'm a respiratory care practitioner and polysomnography technologist and mother of 2 children, one of whom is medically fragile, and I strongly oppose this bill.
Thank you.
And respectfully, I'll ask you to vote.
Thank you.
There was a bit of controversy, some headlines at the beginning of this year's festival when it was announced that this film called Vaxxed would be screened at the festival. Later, the festival pulled it. Was it because of the backlash? Were you surprised that people reacted the way that they did?
I think the movie is something that people should see. There was a backlash which I haven't fully explored, and I will. And I didn't want it to start affecting the festival in ways that I couldn't see. But definitely there's something to that movie. And there's another movie called Trace Amounts. And there's a lot of information about things that are happening with the CDC, the pharmaceutical companies. There's a lot of things that are not said. I, as a parent of a child who has autism, I'm concerned, and I want to know the truth.
You went public for the first time saying that your 18-year-old son does have autism.
Yes.
That had been a very private thing for you, and
Yes.
part of the reason you wanted this film shown was to start that conversation.
Absolutely.
Do you believe you'll now have a role in that conversation going forward?
Possibly, yes. Because the thing is that to shut it down, there's no reason to. If you're scientists, let's see, let's hear. Everybody doesn't seem to want to hear much about it. It's shut down. And you guys are the ones that should be the investigating. Do the investigating. Nobody seems to want to address that, or they say they've addressed it, and it's a closed issue, but it doesn't seem to be, because there are many people who will come out and say, no, I saw my kid change like overnight. I saw what happened, and I should have done something, and I didn't. So there's more to this than meets the eye, believe me.
Is that the experience you had, Robert? Something changed overnight?
My wife says that. I don't remember, but my child is autistic, and every kid is different. But there is something there. There's something there that people aren't addressing. And for me to get so upset here today, on the Today Show with you guys, means there's something there. That's all I wanted, was the movie to be seen. People can make their own judgment, but you must see it. And there are other films, other things that also just document and show. It's not such a simple thing, but there's certain things. There's the obvious one is thimerosal, which is mercury. Let's find out the truth. Let's just find out the truth. The truth.
Until the wonderful people like us introduced vaccinations to Africa, the African children basically were autism free. They never heard of autism, never had a case of Down. Are you familiar with that? Did you ever heard that before? Okay. I wonder if the CDC has conducted or facilitated a study comparing vaccinated children with unvaccinated children yet. Have you done that?
Again, most recently in 2011. And, their conclusion, again, it was not just looking at the work that was done at CDC, but with a total body of evidence, was suggesting that vaccines and their components did not increase the risk for autism.
My time's very limited here. So clearly, definitely, unequivocally, you have studied vaccinated versus unvaccinated.
We have not studied vaccinated versus unvaccinated.
Never mind. So just stop there. That was the meaning of my question. You wasted 2 minutes of my time. I've seen a chart that ranks the longevity of the 30 nations with the best mortality rates in the world, starting with Iceland, Sweden, Singapore, and on down. We didn't even make the top 30. We're the 34th. And ironically, we require more vaccinations than any other country that's healthier, has a less mortality rate than us. Do you see any correlation whatsoever, either one of you, to the 34th worst mortality rate and the most vaccinations to the ones with the least required vaccinations and the lowest mortality rate? They also have children that, past age 20 in those countries, too.
I'm sorry, gentleman's time's expired. Did you want to answer?
No, I think I had an opportunity. Thank you.
If you raise your right hand for me, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you, buddy. Proceed.
Every vaccine that is made with cell lines from aborted babies is highlighted in yellow. So the adenovirus vaccine, the DTaP IPV HIB, called the Pentasil vaccine, the hepatitis A, the Havrix, the hepatitis A Vacta, the hepatitis A, hepatitis B, called Twinrix, the MMR2, the MMRV, which also includes the varicella virus, the rabies virus, the varicella Varavax vaccine, and the Zosters, all are made with cell lines from aborted babies. I know about mercury in vaccines, aluminum in vaccines, polysorbate 80 in vaccines, formaldehyde in vaccines, pig and kidney cells in vaccines. So there were 2 deaths, measles deaths, between 2003 and the present. What didn't come out in the testimony is during that same period of time, again, this is from the Vaccine Adverse Events Reporting System, there have been 127 measles vaccine-related deaths. So if we're worried about 1 death or 2 deaths from measles, what about 127 deaths from the vaccine as a complication. And I didn't mention, but obviously you know the flu vaccine has also been reported to cause deaths as well. It's estimated, there have even been articles in the New England Journal of Medicine estimating that only 1 to 10% of injuries are reported. And the problem with the compensation program, and you're asking me about the compensation program, is people who are vaccine injured often don't even know what about allowing people to exercise their religious exemption or a medical exemption so that they can avoid being forced to receive vaccines that could potentially be devastating or fatal. So I'll stop there.
I refuse to take a shot. I am pregnant. I don't want my baby to have that in his system. I refuse. No, I don't want it. I refuse. I refuse. Yes, I can. I'm pregnant. That's not my doctor. All right, I'm not taking it. Y'all, my parents, when they leave you.
Now, here's your choice.
No.
You can take it like an
No.
adult.
What made her safe for me to do this?
Or
Crazy?
you can take it like an adult, or we're going to hold you down and give it to you.
I want to wait for my mom to come here.
No,
Yeah.
we're not waiting for your mom.
I don't want that.
No.
I don't need it.
I can see your pressured speech.
Because you're trying to give me what I don't need. Please don't touch me.
Well, we're going to-
Because I know you're all against me.
No, we're not.
Because I'm black. Because I'm more.
No.
Because I'm more. Yeah. Because I'm MOOR.
All right, we're going to sit here too. Okay.
All right.
Get it in the leg. All right. Okay.
So my baby's gonna have that in his system, and I'm gonna sue
the baby. It's safe for the baby.
It's all right.
I'm gonna sue. It's all right. I'm suing.
It's safe. They're not
Yeah, I
going to
know.
give you something that's not safe.
I know I'm suing. They're trying to have this in my baby, and they know that what they're doing. They're trying to do this to every black person to make them to test on them, since they want to test on animals too. They're getting sued. Don't even worry. They did this to my cousin.
What about that salt pump?
Yeah, that too.
Okay. Emotions are running high at the state capitol today. Governor Jerry Brown has signed the controversial vaccine bill into law. This means parents will no longer be able to use personal or religious beliefs to opt out of the vaccines required for school.
I will be suing if my daughter is denied the right to go to school.
On what ground?
Discrimination. In California law, it is a fundamentally protected constitutional right to be able to go to school.
Across the state, people opposed to California's strict new vaccine laws are joining forces to fight for the right not to vaccinate their kids. CBS 2's Christy Fajardo reports from one of the rallies in Santa Monica.
Parents call the shots.
Opponents of California's mandatory vaccine laws vow
We're not going away.
Holding rallies across the state, including this one in Santa Monica, promising to repeal SB 277 by ballot initiative or in the courts.
We will be out protesting every chance we get to just say we think it's an impingement on our freedoms and our rights and their education. I want my kid to get an education.
Protester Cindy Kendall makes that point because under SB 277, she will have to choose between homeschooling and vaccines, which she feels aren't safe. The law signed by the governor requires all children to be vaccinated before attending school.
We're going to do everything that we can, everything, whatever that involves. We're going to address it very succinctly.
Passionate plea from protesters at the Capitol.
I am the only thing standing between my son and this bill.
Erin Romero Massengal claims her son would lose his medical vaccine exemption under Senate Bill 276, chaining herself to the Capitol doors in protest.
He's my son. I committed to protecting him. That is my job.
If you do not leave this area, you will be subject to physical arrest and or detention.
Despite protesters' attempts to shut down the Senate session, senators ultimately voted in favor of this companion bill. And now that this bill has been signed into law, it is expected to go into effect on January 1st. But these protesters say their fight isn't over.
If the right to decide what goes into our bodies and those of our children is wrongfully taken from us, what meaningful rights do we have? Police will be required to forcibly take our children against our will to be force vaccinated. Lies that vaccines have been properly tested, both individually and in the combinations in which they're administered. Lies that pharmaceutical companies don't have corrupt influence over government regulators. Lies that vaccine research is without fraud. Lies that fraudulent vaccine research is true. Lies that toxic vaccine ingredients are safe. Lies denying cover-ups of the causal links between vaccines and the endless list of conditions now crippling the health, development, and well-being of our children. Lies that vaccines don't harm and don't kill. Lies that vaccines never cause autism and also don't